To make a bar increase in Russian knitting, we should reverse the steps that we follow when we make a bar increase using the classic knitting style and knit the stitch through the back loop first. So we insert the tip of the right needle from right to left into the stitch, pick the yarn, pull the wrap through just as we do when we normally knit stitches using the Russian knitting style. But we don't slip the stitch off the left needle yet because we're gonna knit into that stitch again, and this time we go through the front loop. So we insert the tip of the right needle from left to right into the same stitch, pick the yarn, pull the wrap through, and slip the stitch off the left needle. So we've just created 2 stitches out of 1, making an increase, and when we stack these increases on top of each other, making them in every other row, then we see that they look exactly the same as the line of bar increases that we get when we use the classic knitting style. But what happens when we knit into the front and then into the back of the stitch using the Russian knitting style? Well, we do make an increase, but it looks much more interesting than the regular bar increases. These increases are more textured and they form a particularly lovely line of increases when we make the increases that slant to the right. So it is really nice and it has a decorative look that will look great on a shawl or a hat shaping. So how do we do that? When it's time to make an increase, and see, I knit using the Russian knitting style because we are talking about the Russian knitting style here, then insert the tip of the right needle from left to right into the stitch, then wrap the needle with the yarn, pull the wrap through, basically knitting the stitch through the front loop. But again, we keep the stitch on the left needle, so we don't slip it off yet. Now we're gonna knit it again, but this time we're gonna knit through the back loop. So insert the tip of the right needle from right to left into the stitch again, knitting it through the back loop. And at this point, because the stitch is twisted, it could be a bit hard to see where this back loop is. So it helps to look at the stitch from the top of the needle. So when you look at it from this angle, we clearly see both legs of the stitch and we can confidently insert the needle into the right spot. Then knit it and slip the stitch off the left needle. As a result, we get a lovely line of increases that look slightly like the bar increases, but more textured and with a more sophisticated look. The full tutorial about both increases is at tenroseday.com/Russian-bar-increases. To learn all ins and outs of the Russian knitting style, consider taking a course at tenroseday.com/Russian-knitting. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.